Hello, and welcome back to Daily English Podcast, where we learn English together through slow stories and clear speech. Today, I want to take you on a journey into the life of a man who became one of the most talked about leaders in the world.
Donald J. Trump.
You may know his name. You may know his face. But do you know his full story from childhood to real estate? From TV shows to the White House? Whether you agree with him or not, there is one thing you cannot deny. Donald Trump has had a very big impact on the world. In today's episode, we'll explore his story step by step, using slow, clear English that is perfect for listening practice. You will learn vocabulary about business, politics, and leadership. You will improve your English by hearing a real-life biography. And most importantly, you will learn in a fun, natural way without pressure. This episode is not about politics. It's not about taking sides. It's simply about listening, learning, and understanding someone's life journey. So you can grow your English one sentence at a time. So take a deep breath. Sit back. Put on your headphones and get ready for an interesting story about success, power, challenges, and the road from real estate to the presidency. This is the story of Donald Trump, and this is your moment to improve your English. Let's begin. The early life of Donald Trump, from Queens to Manhattan. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, in the United States. He was the fourth of 5 children. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful businessman. Fred built and managed apartments and houses in New York. He was strict, serious, and focused on business. From a young age, Donald learned one thing very clearly: winning matters. Business matters. Money matters. Childhood and school. As a boy, Donald was very energetic and strong-minded. He often got into trouble in school. He didn't always follow rules. His parents noticed that he had big ideas, but sometimes too much attitude. When Donald was just 13 years old, his parents decided to send him to military school. It was called the New York Military Academy. There, Donald learned discipline. He wore a uniform, followed a strict schedule, and learned how to lead others. He was not always the best student, but he learned how to speak with confidence and how to compete. In military school, Donald discovered something powerful. He liked to be in charge. He liked to win. And he hated to lose. College and business studies. After finishing school, Donald went to college. He first studied at Fordham University in New York. Then he transferred to the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Wharton was one of the top business schools in the country. While studying there, Donald continued learning from his father. Fred Trump taught him how to manage buildings, make deals, and handle money. But Donald didn't want to stay in Queens. He wanted to do something bigger. He wanted to make his own name, not just follow his father's path. Fred focused on simple apartments for working-class people. But Donald wanted to build hotels, towers, and big city projects. He said, "If you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big."
He moved to Manhattan.
In the 1970s, Donald Trump moved to Manhattan, the heart of New York City. It was bold. It was risky. He was young. He was not well known. But he had big dreams and a lot of confidence. His goal? To build famous buildings. To put his name on skyscrapers. To become a brand, Trump. In 1978, Donald made his first big move. He helped build the Grand Hyatt Hotel near Grand Central Station. It was a major success. People began to notice him. His name started to appear in newspapers and magazines. This was just the beginning. Donald Trump was no longer just Fred Trump's son. He was starting to become a public figure. Bold, rich, and full of ambition. A new business style. Donald didn't do business quietly. He did it loudly.
He talked big.
He made bold promises. And he put his name, Trump, on everything. Buildings, hotels, casinos. The Trump name became a brand, a symbol of luxury, success, and power. But this bold style also brought problems. He took big risks. And big risks sometimes bring big problems. We'll talk more about that in the next part. Headphone summary of part 1. So in this part of the story, we learned Donald Trump was born in Queens, New York. He learned business from his father, Fred. He went to military school, then Wharton Business School. He wanted to build big things in Manhattan. His first success was the Grand Hyatt Hotel. He began building the Trump brand in real estate. This is only the beginning. Part 2, From Real Estate to Reality TV, How Donald Trump Became a Star. In Part 1, we saw how Donald Trump started his career in real estate. He moved from Queens to Manhattan. He built big projects. And he became known for luxury, gold, and success. But in the 1980s and 1990s, Trump did more than just build buildings. He began building a public image, and soon he became a celebrity. Let's explore how he became not just a businessman, but a global name. Trump Tower, building the brand. In 1983, Donald Trump opened Trump Tower in New York City. It was tall, shiny, and covered in glass and gold. It became the center of Trump's empire. He lived there. He worked there. And it showed the world what he loved: rich style, big dreams, and the Trump name. Over time, he built more. Casinos in Atlantic City, resorts and golf courses, hotels in major cities. But not everything went well. Trouble in the 1990s. Business failures. In the early 1990s, Donald Trump's businesses faced serious problems. He had borrowed a lot of money. Some of his casinos and hotels were not making profits. His debts grew very large, over $1 billion. Many people thought he would go bankrupt and disappear. But Trump didn't give up. He made deals with banks. He sold some properties. He used his name, Trump, to make money through licensing. He survived the crisis, and by the late 1990s, he was back on TV, in magazines, and in business. But now he wanted something more. The Apprentice. Trump becomes a TV star. In 2004, Donald Trump began a reality TV show called The Apprentice. The show was about business, competition, and leadership. Each week, young business people competed to win a job with Trump. They did business tasks like selling products or managing teams. At the end of each episode, Trump would look at the weakest player and say his famous line, "You're fired." The show was a big success. It ran for many seasons. Millions of people around the world watched it. Trump became even more famous. He wasn't just a businessman anymore. He was a TV star, someone known for power, confidence, and bold words. A loud voice in politics. During this time, Donald Trump also began speaking more about politics. He gave interviews. He talked about taxes, the economy, and immigration. He criticized American leaders. He said things that many people agreed with and many others strongly disagreed with. He became a loud voice, not as a politician but as a public figure. Some people thought he was just making noise. Others believed he could become a leader. In 2011, people began asking, will Donald Trump run for president? At first, it seemed like a joke. But in 2015, he made it official. He stood in front of the world and said, I am running for President of the United States. Summary of Part 2. Here's what we learned in this part of the story. Trump opened Trump Tower and expanded his business. He faced financial failure in the 1990s but recovered. He became a TV star with The Apprentice. He became more involved in public and political discussions. In 2015, he announced his campaign for president. In Part 3, we'll cover Donald Trump's presidential campaign, his surprising win in 2016, and what happened during his time in the White House. Part 3, the campaign and the White House years. In 2015, Donald Trump stood in front of a crowd at Trump Tower in New York City. With cameras flashing and reporters watching, he made a big announcement. I am officially running for President of the United States. Many people were surprised. Some laughed. Some thought it was just for publicity. But Donald Trump was serious. He said America needed stronger borders. He talked about bringing jobs back. He promised to be a different kind of leader, not a politician but a businessman. And so, the journey to the White House began. The 2016 election, a shocking win. Trump joined the Republican Party and began campaigning across the country. He gave speeches in stadiums. He used social media, especially Twitter, to speak directly to the public. He was not like other candidates. He was bold. He was loud. He used simple language that many people understood. He promised to lower taxes, build a wall on the border with Mexico, and put America first in trade and foreign policy. Many people supported him, but many others disagreed strongly. In 2016, he ran against Hillary Clinton, a well-known Democratic politician. Most experts thought Clinton would win. But on November 8, 2016, something surprising happened. Donald Trump won the election. He became the 45th President of the United States. For many, it was a historic victory. For others, it was shocking. Either way, history was made. The presidency, 2017 to 2021. As president, Donald Trump made many changes and headlines. In domestic policy, he passed a major tax reform law in 2017. He appointed 3 new justices to the U.S. Supreme Court. He worked to reduce government regulations. He tried to end Obamacare, though it remained mostly in place. In foreign policy, Trump met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He removed the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement. He took a tough stance on trade with China. He moved the U.S. Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. His presidency was also full of controversy. His tweets were often direct and created strong reactions. He was criticized for how he spoke about immigration, race, and women. But his supporters said he kept his promises and stood up for ordinary Americans. COVID-19 and the 2020 election. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic began. Trump had to lead during one of the most difficult times in modern history. Hospitals were overwhelmed. Businesses closed. Millions of people lost their jobs. The Trump administration helped support the fast development of vaccines. Still, many criticized his handling of the crisis, especially his public messaging. In November 2020, Trump ran for re-election against Joe Biden. Biden won the election with more votes and support from more states. Trump did not accept the result right away. He said the election was unfair. Many experts and courts found no clear evidence of serious fraud. On January 6, 2021, a group of Trump supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol during the election certification. It was one of the darkest moments in U.S. political history. Trump left office on January 20, 2021. He did not attend the inauguration of President Joe Biden. Part 4: Life After the White House and the Legacy of Donald Trump. After leaving the White House in January 2021, Donald Trump did not disappear from the spotlight. He may have left Washington, but he remained active in the news, in politics, and in public life. Let's take a look at what happened after his presidency and how his story continues today. Returning to Florida. After President Joe Biden took office, Donald Trump returned to his home in Florida at a private club called Mar-a-Lago. There, he spent time with family and close advisors. He stayed quiet for a short time, but soon he began speaking again at political events. He continued to talk about the 2020 election. He said it was not fair and repeated that it was stolen, even though many courts disagreed. Still, millions of people believed him and stayed loyal to him. Launching a new platform. In 2021, Trump was banned from major social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook after the events of January 6th. But Trump didn't stop communicating with his followers. He later launched his own social media platform called Truth Social. There, he posted his messages, opinions, and news. It became the main way his supporters followed him. Influence on the Republican Party. Even after leaving office, Donald Trump remained the most powerful voice in the Republican Party. Many Republican politicians supported him. Some spoke out against him, but most did not. Trump helped endorse candidates in elections. If he supported someone, they usually got more votes. In 2022, during the midterm elections, many Trump-endorsed candidates ran for office. Some won. Some lost. But Trump's name was still strong in American politics. Legal investigations. During this time, Trump also faced several legal problems. There were investigations about his business practices, his taxes, his actions after the 2020 election, and the events of January 6, 2021. In 2023 and 2024, some cases even went to court. He was charged in multiple legal cases. But he denied all wrongdoing and said the charges were political attacks. These legal issues did not stop him. He continued to campaign. He continued to speak at rallies. He said, "They're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way." Running for president again. In late 2022, Donald Trump announced that he would run for president again in 2024. He said America needed strong leadership. He promised to protect American jobs, control immigration, and fight corruption. His supporters cheered. His critics worried. As of now, he is still one of the most talked about figures in the world. The legacy of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is one of the most controversial leaders in modern history. Some people love him. Some people strongly disagree with him. But no one can ignore him. His legacy includes changing how politicians use social media, changing how campaigns are run, bringing business style into government, raising deep political emotions in the country. To some, he is a fighter. To others, a divider. But he is, without question, one of the most famous people of the 21st century. Conclusion: The story of Donald Trump. One man, one legacy, many opinions. The story of Donald Trump is not simple. It is full of ambition, success, failure, fame, and controversy. He started as a young man in Queens, New York. He dreamed big. He built towers, casinos, golf courses, and a global brand. He became a TV star. Then he became the President of the United States, something very few people believed was possible. Some people call him a great leader. Others call him the most controversial president in modern times. But everyone agrees on one thing. He changed the way people talk about politics, power, and leadership. His words are bold. His actions are strong.
His style is unique.
And his story is still not finished. Whether you admire him or not, you can learn from his life. About business, about communication, and about what it means to fight for what you believe in. For English learners like you, this story is more than just history. It is a way to practice real English, to hear how ideas are shared, and to build your vocabulary in a meaningful way. So, thank you for listening. You didn't just listen to a story. You practiced English with purpose. Keep learning.
Keep listening.
And keep asking questions. Because your English journey, like Donald Trump's life, is not a straight line. It's a story with many chapters. This is Sam from Germany, and this was the Daily English Podcast. See you next time, where we'll bring you more English, more stories, and more learning. Take care, and never stop improving.